Hey guys, this is the continue of the last video of final boss. On this video, it's still the same, but on this video, I'm just gonna explain about the boss without HP cut, okay? So yeah, let's see. So just to refresh your memory, I'll just start from the beginning, boss, so we can refresh a bit. Let's just skip. Okay, let's start. So as you can see, this, like I said on the last video, I don't know if I mentioned it or not. So usually after you silence the boss gonna move. The boss is only gonna move to the direction where the arcane starts, okay? But it's only 80%. 20% chance you get a disabled boss. When you drop silence, the boss won't move. But 80%, uh, like 80% you get a moving boss. So after you silence, the boss gonna move towards the direction of arcane. So if your arcane starts from south, silence is gonna move south. But after several sounds, the boss will stop moving because it's the max range. The boss is already on the max range to move, so that's that. Here's the boss. Beam on me. Beam on anybody on the party and tell the party to full damage. Yeah, just full everything. I go for ironroot defensive, but one hand arcane is using it for some reason. To be extra safe, you know, he don't trust the party. Unlucky. I taunts to get the aggro. I go for offtank defensive. That's too defensive already. Like I said on last video, after the 3 defensive, it's gonna be first kaboom. Okay, that's the time indicator. So I drop E. It's gonna be kaboom soon. I just drop silence. As you can see, when I drop silence, it's moving south, right? Because the arcane starts from south. And make sure, since the boss is moving backward, like I said earlier, you cannot, like not earlier on the last video, you cannot be too far away from the boss. So as you know, your arcane starts from south. If you silence, the boss gonna move backwards. You need to walk with the boss. If you're too far away, the boss gonna reset your threat aggro, and since the other raiders will have more aggro than you, since you reset your aggro, then they're gonna get the aggro and party will get damage. So make sure to move with the boss, okay? And you see that first kaboom, okay? Let's count 8 autos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Drop silence if you wanna delay it, but since I'm too busy checking. This is 6 auto. After the 8 auto is gonna spawn. Kaboom. 7, 8, kaboom. Okay, you see that? So it's your option, to be honest, if you wanna silence it or no. Like if you silence, you're just delaying the kaboom. Give the party to move. Like, not the party to move. You remind the party so that they are alert that it's gonna be kaboom soon. But if you don't wanna drop silence, it's also fine. Like just now, I don't drop silence, and it's still working fine. So after the kaboom, count for 8 autos again. 1, 2. But be careful, okay? Like on one bar, you need to focus on the sword, not the kaboom. The kaboom just keep on reminding them to dodge. I think that's 6 auto or 8, I forget. Okay, that's 6, 7, 8. It's gonna be kaboom. You look, as you can see, every 8 autos if you don't silence it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Before 8 lands, I drop silence already. So since it's 1 bar and it's already 8 auto, it's gonna be kaboom and sword. As you can see on the video, it's gonna be swords and kaboom. Yep. I go for defensive there. And like I explained on previous video, every swords rotation try to call for 2 defensive. Hopefully on this video, I call for 2 defensive. So while waiting on autos, call for defensive. So as you can see, I call for 1 arcane enfeeble and my E. So I drop sounds, it's gonna be sword soon. Every 8 autos, it's gonna be sword. So drop silence and call for next defensive. So that's 2 defensive already, right? On 1 rotation of swords. So that's a good way to call for defensive. The sword despawn, gonna be kaboom. Call for a defensive. That's 1 defensive again on the new swords rotation. After it's gonna be sword soon. Drop silence. Call for next defensive. Call for next defensive. You see that next defensive. That's 2 defensive again. So yeah, basically just repeat this process until it's 50% health, okay? That's first phase of final boss. Super easy. Let's just watch the vid. The more you do the boss, you will know the pattern of the kaboom, okay? Like since I do too much Ava already, like I know when to call it. Although I don't count for the auto attacks. So for now, you just keep on reminding the party to dodge. If you don't know when the kaboom gonna spawn, just focus on the auto attacks that gonna spawn the sword. As you can see, it's almost 50% now. Be ready for HPCUT. Remind your party, not remind your party, remind your HPCUT to leash the stack. So that the HPCUT have full health. Healthy health to HPCUT. I mean on this video, I have an HPCUT, but my HPCUT failed to do it because he spammed his HPCUT off cooldown. Like he don't have his foot right now at the moment that I need. As you can see, he failed to do it because he's on cooldown. He spammed it off cooldown for some reason. Unlucky. So it's full health again. Don't be panic. If it's full health, it's gonna be this rotation, okay? So the first half bar, so it's like 90%. 90%, the boss will be beam. This is 90%, okay? 90% health. On 80% health, it's gonna be sword, first sword. Usually after sword, it's gonna be swords and beam. If you get like normal DPS, but if you got super Gucci DPS, when the boss hit 1/2 bar, that's equal to that's 70% if I'm not mistaken. 70% health. So when the boss reach 70% health, it's gonna be reflect. So yeah, if you get good damage, if the boss reach 70% health, be careful of reflect, okay? But most of the time, you will get like normal damage. The boss won't hit 70% before the beam, so it should be fine. The rotation should be sword and sword. So as you can see, it reset, right? Just keep on rotating your defensive while waiting for the first beam. Okay. It's gonna only cast kaboom until the first beam. Kaboom every 8 autos, same as before. That's 2 auto, 4 auto, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's gonna be kaboom. Kaboom after the silence. On me. Already 95% health. It's gonna be 90% soon. Once it's 90%, it's gonna be beam, so be ready. 1, 2. So as you can see here, you see the boss health? It's around 90%, right? So you see this? 90%? Start beaming. Usually, like before it's 90%, you want to drop sounds, but just now I use my sounds too early, and although it's up, I don't use it again, so that's why I don't drop it. Usually, like on this phase, like you see this 90% health, you just drop the silence to prepare the party and tell them to stack up so that they can get beamed by the enigmatic. Okay. So that's the first beam based on the notepad. Let's just there you go. So now we just need to wait until the 80% health, okay? We just need to wait. It's gonna be only kaboom. It's only gonna be kaboom. So keep on rotating defensive. Don't be panic. It's just wasting time, to be honest, because you feel HP cut more time. Okay, you see that? The health is close to 90%, I drop 90%. Okay, 90%, I drop sounds. Sorry, I drop sounds. After the sounds ends, it's gonna be swords. Go for defensive. I go for BMS there. Okay, the sword despawn. It's kaboom. Be careful. After one auto, drop silence. Next defensive, it's gonna be swords again. You can see. As you can see, the health, it's still above 70%, okay? So this is one bar, this is one half bar. So it's still more than 70%. So since it's more than 70%, it's not gonna cast reflect because I silenced it correctly just now. So yeah, the bug phase won't spawn and the reflect phase won't spawn. Like, yeah, it's gonna be beam directly. But after the first sword, if your DPS is super Gucci and it's 70% health already, it's gonna be beam. It's gonna be reflect directly. So be careful of that, okay? Don't be panic if it's reflect after the first sword. So if you get this rotation, maybe the next one it's either swords or beam. If you get another swords, then don't be panic. After the sword, it's gonna be beam. But if you don't get the sword and it's beam already, then the rotation is gonna be like keep on repeating this one, right? Same as the HPCUT. Yeah, once this like once you get the first beam, it's gonna be same as the one with the HPCUT. So yeah, don't worry. Once you master the HPCUT one, this one is pretty easy. So yeah, the only difference is 90% first beam, 70%. Sorry, 80% health. This is 80% health. 80% health per sword. This is it. Okay. So I silence it. So it's beam, right? As you can see, I got the sword. Since the health is still more than 70%, I got the sword, and beam directly. The bug phase didn't spawn because I silenced it. Because I silenced the boss correctly. But if you don't silence the boss, you might get the bug phase. So make sure to always silence the boss so that you prevent the bug phase. Okay? That's simple. And it's just gonna repeat. It's just gonna repeat same as with HPCUT. Like this rotation will only repeat. So it's beam already, now it's gonna be sword. That before the second auto lands, you drop silence, call for one hand arcane enfeeble. Gonna be reflect, right? So it's either swords or kaboom, swords or beam. If you stand close, it's gonna be swords. If you stand too far, like this far, it's gonna be beam. So you just walk, drop E, and after one auto drop silence, it's gonna be swords again, right? Just now it's beam, so it's swords next. After one, before the second auto lands, you drop silence, it's gonna be beam. Like for this phase, like after the sword, like the sword after the reflect, the second sword after the reflect, most people don't silence, and that's not good in my opinion. You just need to silence to avoid auto attacks and kaboom. Okay, to make your party easier, just drop silence. So yeah, that's it for no HP cut. I'm just gonna keep on running the video and show you the rotation with call. Okay, so I call ironroot defensive on the swords. Can be swords. You see that swords on the right? Yeah. So after the swords, before second autos land, I drop silence already. I call for Judy, reset, and beam. By the way, I call for offtank defensive. Okay, also just now on the beam. Sorry, no, I don't call for offtank defensive just now. Usually I call for it on the beam. So I call offtank just now on swords. So next should be BMS on the this sword. Reflect, I use one hand arcane always. On beam, I always use my own E. You can see my own E. And I drop silence because last time it's offtank. I go for BMS now. The BMS defensive. Gonna be beam. I just call for next defensive offtank since I have too much. I have two defensive and they idle too much, so I just rotate it. So this is offtank. Now it's BMS. So as you can see, sports, BMS defensive. Drop silence. One hand arcane enfeeble. Go back. And yeah, just keep on repeating until it's that, okay? Just for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna redo this thingy, okay? Because this is without HPCUT phase. So that you refresh the memory. Let's skip a bit. Okay, it's almost HPCUT, right? Wait, this is already HPCUT. Wait, it's already second phase, I mean. Let's go back. Oh, so this HPCUT fail, it's fail. It's full health again, okay? If you fail HPCUT, it's gonna be full health. So keep in mind, you wanna see the first beam. It's 90%. Okay, that's the objective. 90%. While waiting, just keep on counting 8 autos from kaboom to kaboom. And rotate defensive, of course. Don't AFK, just rotate defensive. You have 3, right? You have offtank, BMS, and your E. Your E is usually combined by your enfeeble on the first phase. So it's 90% as you can see. It's gonna be beam. Call for enigmatic. Call for defensive. You can see I call for PKY defensive there. Okay, it's gonna be continue kabooming only kaboom because it's not yet 1 bar. 1 bar is 90% health, by the way. No, 80%, right? 80%, yeah. So it's gonna be 80% soon. It's gonna be short soon, be ready. You can see it's close to 80%. Okay, it's 80% now. I drop silence. It's gonna be swords. Touch sword. Okay, go for defensive there, right? And after one auto, kaboom, one auto, I drop silence again. Go for next defensive, next defensive. Okay, that's another sword. Before it's despawn, I drop silence, and it's gonna be beam. And once it's beam, that's it. It's same as the HPCUT phase. It's gonna be only beam, sword, reflex, sword or beam, swords, and repeat. Okay? Just keep on repeating. So if you fail to silence and it's gonna spawn bug phase, don't worry. After the bug, it's gonna be always beam again. So that's it for final boss. Super easy. If you have any question, just ask. I know it's a bit like too much for new RLIT, new raid leader in training, because there is many mechanics that you need to learn. But if you spam, since final boss, you will always do it on every dungeon. It's gonna be easy, okay? If you have any question, just leave in the comment section. And that's it for the video. Thank you guys. See ya.